Let's talk about Dow 13,000, how it got there, what it meant, and why this month it kind of took it a while to get there. Mark Hulbert of Market Watch is in North Carolina with us. Mark, you watched, we all watched this Dow 13,000 trudge. What did you make of it? What does it really say to you?
Well, it's possible that you can tell a story, and we're finding out really more data today, and I'll mention that in a minute. But we could have told a story through yesterday's close that the reason the Dow took so long to finally close above 13,000 was just normal psychological tentativeness before some of these big round numbers. My column on the site today, I report on some academic research that found that every time the Dow has reached these round numbers, it's done something similar. The dead giveaway that is happening is that once it finally closes above that level, then all the pent-up demand that was being held back because of that tentativeness should hit the market, and the market should accelerate. Unfortunately, today we're not seeing that acceleration. That may suggest there's more serious problems with the economy and the market beyond simple psychological tentativeness around this round number.
Yeah, I mean, this morning you saw right at the open, we kind of shot up. I think the Dow was up almost 50 points, but now you can see up only 5, really going over. It was down 2 a second ago. The NASDAQ also, Mark, this morning hit 3,000 briefly. It's pulled back from that. Are these psychological numbers just psychological? I mean, can we start making the case that maybe there's more going on than just this psychological effect?
Well, no, I would make that case along with you. I think you indeed can make that case. I think what would have cinched the case that it's simply this tentativeness is if you saw the market shooting up a lot more than just, as you mentioned, what we saw at the open, but it would have continued during the day. Obviously, there are a lot of retail investors out there that have been looking at this number. It's taken, I think, 3 weeks since when the Dow got within 1% of this level. And so I think there have been some people who have been holding back. But if that were the only thing holding it back, then you would have seen, I think, a continuation of that surge open that that we saw at the open. And we're not seeing that, which suggests that perhaps there's something more serious.
And more serious, you mean like right. We might not stay here? It seems like you mentioned in your piece about this sort of listless meandering that the market's been engaged in. So how long? I mean, probably today won't be enough to probably tell the story. I'm guessing. But do you have a sense of, is it going to be 4 or 5 sessions before we get a full sense of whether it is just the listless meandering?
Yeah, I don't know that the academic research on this that's looking at it rather rigorously has defined exactly when you know for sure. I would say even before 4 or 5 days, I'd say by the end of this week, we'll know whether it was simply the psychological tentativeness that was causing the market to take so long to finally close above the 13,000.